Afternoon, guys. I'm going to go through the 6 questions. Okay, question number 1, 92 multiplied by 45. We need to put this into a formal method. As you can see, lining the digits up correctly into their place value, which is really important. I'm going to start by multiplying these 2 top digits by 5. So 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, and 5 multiplied by 9 is 45, and add the 1 is 46. Okay, so 460 is 92 multiplied by 5. Now I'm going to multiply 92 by 40. So I need to drop my 0 down, my placeholder, and then do 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8. And 4 multiplied by 9, which is 36. Okay, so my job isn't done quite yet. What I need to do is add those 2 numbers together, and that will give me my answer. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1 over, 4 plus 6 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. Carry the 1 over, and then 3 plus the 1 that you carried is 4. So 4,140 is your answer. Okay, question number 3. So what I'm going to show you to do, these 2 whole numbers you're going to add together first. So that gives us a total of 5. And then you're left with 1/3 plus 1/2. Now what we need to do is make these denominators the same. So I'm going to multiply them both together to give me the same denominator. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. And whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. So you've got 2 multiplied by 1. So that leaves me with 2/6. Okay, now I'm going to multiply this number by 3, this denominator. So 2 multiplied by 3, as we know, is 6. And then whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top. And 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. So I'm left with 2/6 plus 3/6. So when you add 2 fractions together, you're multiplying the numerators, and the denominator is staying the same. So 2 add 3 leaves us with 5. So 5/6 is your answer when you're adding these 2 fractions together, and your answer overall is 5 and 5/6. Okay, question number 3. When you divide a fraction by a whole number, you need to use the keep, change, flip method. So you're going to keep 9/10. You're going to change the division sign to a multiplication sign, and then you're going to flip 3/1, 3 wholes, into 1/3. And you're going to multiply the 2 fractions together. So multiply the numerators. 9 multiplied by 1 is 9, and then 10 multiplied by 3 is 30. So you've got 9/30 as your answer. This fraction can actually be simplified. As I showed you in a previous video, the way that you can simplify a fraction into its most smallest equivalent is by finding the highest common factor. So we're going to do that. So if I do it in a different colour down here, we're going to find the factors of 9 to start off with. So I've got 1 times 9. 2 doesn't go in because it's an odd number, and then 3 multiplied by 3. And no other number can go into 9, so it has 1, 2, 3 factors, because we don't count 3 twice. Okay, and then the factors of 30. Just do that here very quickly. So you've got 1 multiplied by 30. We know 2 definitely goes into 30. So half of 30 is 15. Oh. 3 goes into 32. definitely 10 times. 4 doesn't go in. Does 5 go in? Yeah, 5 multiplied by 6 goes in. And those are all the factors of 30. So what is the highest common factor? Well, we start by looking for all the common factors. So 1 appears in both, 3 appears in both, and are there any other factors? No, so that means 3 is the highest common factor, and we need to divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then 30 divided by 3 is 10. So 9/30 can be simplified to make 3 over 10, 3/10. Okay, so you're multiplying 39.34 by 100. And when you multiply a number by 10, 100 or 1000, you move the digits to the left because you're making them bigger. Now, you've got to use a dots method for this. There are 2 zeros and 100, so you put 2 dots below the decimal point of 39.34, and I'm going to move it once. So you've got 393.4, and then I'm going to move it twice. This will reveal my answer, 3,934. Okay, moving on, finding 50% of 6,532. Now, you know that 50% is half of a number, so instead of finding 10% and then multiplying that 10% by 5 to get 50%, I'm actually just going to halve the number. So I'm going to put it in a bus stop. When you halving a number, you divide it by 2. You're putting it into 2 equal parts, and then you put your number that you're finding the percentage of in the bus stop. So how many 2's go into 6? Well, there are 3 with no remainder. How many 2's go into 5? There are 2 with a remainder 1. How many 2's go into 13? Well, there are 6 and the remainder 1. How many 2's are in 12? Well, we know there are 6 without a remainder, so 3,266 is your answer. Okay, so moving on to the final question. We're dividing, where has it gone? We're dividing a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. So I'm going to put it into my bus stop. And I'm going to put my divisor on the outside, 6. I'm going to put the number that I'm dividing by inside the bus stop, so 7,605. How many 6's go into 7? Well, I know there are 1, remainder 1. How many 6's go into 16? Well, there are 2, remainder 4. How many 6's are in 40? There are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, so there are 6. If I take 36 from the 40, that leaves me with a remainder 4. Then I need to see how many 6's are in 45. Well, now if 6 times 6 is 36, then if I add another 6 onto that, I'm on 42. So there are 7 6's in 45. And if I take the 42 away from 45, I'm left with a remainder 3. So I put a decimal point in, and I'm going to put my 0 in, and then I'm going to carry that remainder over, so that will make that 30. So then I see how many 6's are in 30. Well, I know that there are 5 without a remainder, so the answer is 1,267.5. Okay, have a look at the answers, pause it on this page, double check, go back through the workings if you've got any incorrect, like I always say to you, and if you have any problems, please get in contact. So well done guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday for another 6 questions.